So, what is up, everybody? A very fast and furious kind of video because later today we are going to get an actual gameplay reveal for the new Star Wars Outlaws that dropped. But I just wanted to say I am so excited, and here are kind of the top 5 things that I picked up from this trailer. One of the first details that I picked up was the actual logo and the feel of this Star Wars Outlaws. And it makes sense, but if you look very carefully, it's very much like the Solo a Star Wars story logo. The only difference is obviously the text being on the top than being on the bottom, which I think actually ties in nicely considering this game is dealing with the Pike Syndicate and the crime underworld. And who knows, we might even get a cameo from homegirl Kira, voiced by Amelia Clark. I would absolutely love that. So the game has a female protagonist, or we think a female protagonist, by the name of Kay, and her companion is Nyx, which I'm absolutely loving. You gotta love the little sidekicks and very cute. I can't even pronounce what the creature kind of looks like. I have to actually look it out, but an Exoto or something like that. That's more like a salamander looking creature, but I am living for this creature. I think it's a lot of fun, and if this is like an underworld game, I can see us basically using him, or the creature basically, to get into tight spaces, much like BD1. I think another thing that I'm really excited for with this game is kind of the possibility of people making an appearance. Like, we see several planets shown. The first planet looks absolutely brand new, and I think we see it later with this massive kind of like mushroom thing in the distance. But I really do think that we also see Canto Bight, as there's very similar architecture and things, and the bad guy standing looking over it is very Canto Bight. But this is the one I put on Twitter. I also think we see Kajimi, because there's a mountain and the city there, so that very much opens some ground to several characters we might be able to see. Also, make no mistake, I do believe we are going back to Tatooine. I want to be wrong, but at the same time, I don't mind it if it makes sense. And it makes sense. We've had the Pike Syndicate set up big time in Book of Boba Fett and in Obi-Wan, and actually, I would love to have missions and side quests from Garsa Whip, because, I mean, she was a fantastic character that we really didn't get to know a lot about, and Jennifer Beals can definitely come back and voice her, so that's a hope. I don't think it will happen, but that would be really cool. And that looks like that's Jabba. It might not be, but why else wouldn't it be Jabba if that's Han and Carbonite? But I'm really excited about the possibilities of those cameos. Like I mentioned earlier, it would be great to also have one from Kira. I have to get my canon facts on what's going on with the Crime Syndicate right now in this time period of Star Wars. I think some of the other things I want to touch on is I actually really like the little attention to details in the cinematic trailer. Obviously, I'm not quite sure. I don't think this is going to be in-game engine, unlike the Fable showcase that showed up, because that was actually what I was waiting for yesterday. This Star Wars game announcement was a complete surprise, and very pleasant surprise, considering it was announced first off like in 2020. I get it, they needed to wait for, I think, the EA to end, and I made a video about that, but I'm very excited. So with some of the little details I like, if you look at the Aqualish holding the cards, he's missing a finger. Also, our main protagonist has a tattoo. That is now the second kind of canon tattoo, first starting with Cal Kestis, now with Kay. So that's also, I don't know, I feel like that makes it more lived in, and I think that's why I really enjoyed that little details. But I love the speeders. I mean, we could pick this trailer apart. These are just initial thoughts. For me, I'm not going to do a trailer breakdown because there are so many fantastic other content creators out there that have already done it, and yeah, they pretty much covered everything that I was going to say. The big one for me was Kajimi, and again, that makes sense because, I mean, I don't think the timeline is right, so I don't think we would see Azori Bliss, but we could go to a certain droid smith, because we're not quite sure how old Babu Frick is. So, and what a very cool like landscape to try out. You got your snow landscape. So I'm very excited. So later I will be making a video tomorrow in response to the gameplay. I'm a bit nervous because it's open world. I need a bit more structure, like kind of the Jedi Survivor and Fallen Order, and sometimes the cosmetics and things overwhelm me, but I'm super pumped and I will see you guys in the next video.